Hey crafty friends, this is Chelsea. Welcome to today's video. My craft room is in need of a little bit of an overhaul. I love my space. If you have not seen my complete tour that I did a while ago, I will link that down below for you so you can go check it out. But it's not functioning as well as it could. And now that I'm in this process of switching over from close to my heart to Stampin' Up!, I'm going to have different types of products coming in. The stamps are stored differently. So I'm just kind of looking at all of my organization, my storage, and seeing if I can maximize my space a little bit better and just change things up so that it's easier to put supplies away. Everything has a spot. I've been kind of working out of piles for a little while, and that drives me crazy. So I decided to kind of reevaluate how I have things stored, and I'm going to start with my stamps first. Now, this is probably my biggest category besides paper. Paper and stamps are the things that I have the most of in my collection, and also things that I use all the time. So they need to be easy to grab, easy to put away. So I'm going to show you how I have my stamps stored right now, and then I'm going to show you the process of switching over to my new way of storing my stamps, and I hope that you will find some helpful tips along the way. Here's how I have my stamps currently stored in my IKEA Calyx unit. And I have them inside these organizers from Close to My Heart. These are their retired organizers. They fit a ton of stamps in there and work really well. And then I have them labeled for all my categories and with a number. So when I go to put my stamps away, I just put them in the correct bin. They're not filed within that bin, but as long as they're in the correct category, then I can find them. And then I use an app, a notebook app, to keep track of all the stamps that I have. So I have 8 boxes of those. And you can see there is a lot of wasted space. When we moved into this house, I just needed to get everything put away and didn't have time to look into other ways to store my stamps. And I've been recently looking at switching up some of my organization, and stamps is one thing I think I want to switch up. So I was looking for a solution. Plus I wanted to get my paper storage out of where it is, hopefully into this unit. So this is definitely going to be a process, and I thought I would tackle the stamps first. When I first set up my room, I actually had these Malm dressers from IKEA as well, and I've been storing lots of different things in here. I have my die storage is in here. I have other things like ribbon and pocket cards and my stitching, embroidery floss, all that kind of stuff. I also have card bases and envelopes and things like that. And then over here, this is a drawer I really want to fix. I have a lot of my coloring mediums, so I am maxed out in here. And because these drawers are so deep, it's just not ideal to have layers upon layers. I have things in baskets, which does work. I can pull out the baskets, but it's just harder to reach for things. And I was wishing at the time that I would have gotten more of the IKEA Calyx, the long drawers. They'd be perfect for these kinds of things, for storing these kinds of things. And even for things like my paints and mixed media stuff, all my paint brushes, re-inkers, all that kind of stuff. So when I was trying to rethink how I was going to store things, I just happened to try out one of my Close to My Heart stamp sets in these drawers. And surprise, surprise, they fit perfectly. So that made me very happy. And then I was trying to think of a way to keep them upright and separated. So I was looking at drawer organizers on Amazon, and I found these ones. Now they had pretty good reviews. They have these little foam pads on the ends, and then you can just extend them out to however long you need. And some of them also come with little dividers, so you could separate into categories. You can adjust how far or how close you want them. So I think I'm going to give it a shot, putting these into the drawers and then filling the drawers with my stamp sets. And of course, before I can start filling these drawers, I have to empty them first because they are stuffed full. Now, I don't have a plan yet for where this is going. I'm just filling some totes and laundry baskets and hoping I will figure it out along the way, because I have to move all my stamps out of my Calyx unit, and then hopefully I can figure out some good storage in my Calyx unit for most of this stuff. I might also look at an Alex drawer, one of the long ones, and pick one of those up from IKEA, because a lot of these small bottles and like my paintbrushes and things would fit really well into one of those drawer systems. I'll probably also end up doing a little bit of purging. It's not my favorite thing to do, but some of the stuff could probably go. Once I got these drawers emptied, I gave them a quick vacuum, and now it's time to get these dividers where I want them to go. So when that button is down, they kind of like ratchet out really slowly, but if you lift this little button, they slide super easily, and then you can adjust the length and then just push down that button to lock it into place. So to put these into the drawers, I'm going to have that button up so I can easily adjust the length, and it's not difficult to work with. I can fit 3 of these in a drawer, and it is the perfect size. These fit perfectly and slide easy enough back and forth. But if they were even 1/4 of an inch bigger on those envelopes, they would not fit perfectly like this. So I'm putting in my stamp sets to help me get the spacing correct, since I don't really have room for error here. And then before I lock these into place, I'm actually going to grab another stamp set to put at the back of the drawer so that I know I'm not getting it at an angle. Now you push down that button to lock it, and then you can stretch it even a little bit farther to increase the tension. It just kind of ratchets out 1 or 2 more clicks, and then they are nice and snug and sturdy in there. Now I'm bringing over my Close to My Heart organizers and just dumping everything in. I actually, for the most part, I'm keeping my numbering system the same, and I'm going to start top left corner with number 1 and then go from there. Here's a side view so you can kind of see what they look like when they're sitting in there. I don't want to pack this tight because otherwise I can't reach the ones at the back. Unfortunately, IKEA drawers do not open all the way, which is like the biggest drawback of drawers, any kind of drawers from IKEA. But as long as I leave a little bit of slack in the stamps and I don't stuff it completely full, then I can still see and access all the stamps. For this section here, I have 3 different categories, and I decided it'd be nice to separate them. So I'm taking these little dividers that came in the set, and I am just stretching them out all the way. This fit just, like I had to go to the max length to get those across, and it just gives me a little divider between the different themes and will make it easier when I'm trying to find what I'm looking for. I didn't use those on all of them. Some of them I have a full row of one theme, which makes it easy. I'll make sure to link these dividers down in the description for you guys, so if you think this might help you with your stamps or some of your other supplies, then you can go and check them out. There's also lots of other kinds of dividers on Amazon, so you could maybe find a different one that would work better for you. Now, I do have a small selection of stamps that are not Close to My Heart, that are not Stampin' Up, and unfortunately they do not fit in these drawers. They're too tall. I would have to turn them on their side. And so I think I might end up keeping one of the Close to My Heart organizers just filled with my other stamps. I'm going to go through them, probably purge them, but I know I have some unique ones that I like to use for art journaling and things, and I don't want to get rid of those. So those are probably going to live somewhere else and not in with all my Close to My Heart stamps. I also need to have some storage for all my new Stampin' Up stamps. And I think this might work for that, so I have to do a little measuring and see if those will fit in these drawers as well. That's the interesting thing about bringing in new supplies. Sometimes you have to switch up your organization to make everything work. I just want to quickly test out and see if this would work with the Stampin' Up sets. Now you can see you can fit 3 across with room for dividers, and then I have a little bit of an empty gap at the end. So not as perfect as the Close to My Heart sets, but it would work. I'm not sure how much I could pull out from the part of the drawer that is in the back and I don't have easy access to. I could also make them go across the drawer. It actually works quite good to have 2 layers, but the problem with this is that I can't get that back row out. The drawer doesn't pull out far enough. so I can't access that back row easily, and I think that would be a big negative for storing my stamps this way. Now, I don't have a lot of Stampin' Up! Ones yet, so maybe I'll do this to start and come up with something different. So here is what my drawers are looking like now. I went ahead and printed out some labels and labeled all the categories. This little ledge on the front of the drawer worked perfectly. So I did end up with 3 drawers full of stamps. There is some room in there, but of course close to my heart is no more, so I won't be adding more stamps to this. I might do some purging and condense this. If I find I really need an extra drawer for something else, then I can always condense it. You can see here, there's my one with all the dividers. I have a couple that have dividers, and it works really well and keeps the stamps upright so they are not falling. Same thing with ones where I don't have enough to fill a whole row. I put one of those dividers at the back just to take up that little bit extra space and keep my stamps standing up. I love how I was able to condense so many stamps into this relatively small space. I feel like it's such a better use of the space as compared to them taking up half of my big calyx unit. I feel like I can really condense down my storage, and I'm excited to start working on my paper and just see what I can put into my calyx to better utilize the space. Once that paper storage video is complete, I will put a link to it right here, and you can also check out my full room tour here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.